4 games left. We have the charge to go on the road and play against a talented Kentucky team that we played early in the year, and obviously it's going to be a tremendous opportunity and a tremendous challenge. One of the things they did well here was that they really attacked the glass on us, and we did a good job ourselves. We had a lot more shot attempts than they did. But the rebounding was certainly in their favor. A lot of free throws were shot, so I expect a hard-fought game. 2 teams are going to really get after each other, and we certainly got to somehow neglect their size, because that's one of the things that they really, I think, utilize with a guy like Julius Randle, who's one of the leading rebounders and not only in our conference but in the country. And he's a guy that's capable of scoring big numbers. James Young, so talented, scoring, big guard for them, and of course you got the Harrison twins. So it's a very talented team.
Mike, the first game here was such a remarkable ending. What has that done for Michael's Wall's confidence moving forward?
Well, I think there's no question about it. They faced these guys and played them, and the finish was unbelievable. And winning breeds confidence, and so they're one of the better teams in not only in the conference but in the country. So I think from our team standpoint, we can play with anybody.
Earlier in the season, leading into that game, SEC play, with Michael, was it mental confidence? Was physical stuff getting to him? What do you think was the reason for that slow start?
It's, non-conference and the sense of urgency in conference play is a lot different. And he had a tremendous non-conference schedule. So now, obviously, people are they're gonna find him. And so, with that being said, now you got to, kind of get the experience of going against people going against you and figure out different ways to impact the game. And it's not necessarily just shooting the basketball. There's all kinds of ways to impact the game, especially for a guy that's as athletic as he is. He can touch a lot of balls. He's long. He can rebound the basketball. So I think more or less he's focusing in on other things than just scoring. But scoring is a big part of what he does. He's an energy guy, and I think that's what he's been bringing, energy.
So you're going to impact the game without scoring. Cody has 7 assists, I guess 9 rebounds the other day. Now leads your team in assists. Just talk about what he's brought here lately.
Well, his senior leadership is no question about it. Is certainly is playing a big part in what is taking place with our basketball team. I think he's a common force out there, and he don't worry about scoring. I think he wants to win. That's that sense of urgency as a senior that you look for. He's a glue guy, energy guy, and there's going to be times where it calls for him to knock shots down because he is a tough matchup. So hopefully he can knock some shots down for us. But when you talk about what he's bringing to the table, I think it's very, very important for our basketball team. He's playing some of his better basketball right now, and that's always the thing with junior college players. They're there for a year and a half, and then the light kind of goes off. But he's playing really good basketball and playing with a lot of confidence, and I think he's playing and practicing hard enough that guys are listening to him.
If y'all are able to hang around and being up late, just kind of this last game with them having an effect on your team and theirs both about confidence and what Arkansas could do?
Well, the teams we've played, I mean, right before we played them, we played Florida. So we played some tremendous teams, and whether it be at home or on the road, we play some good teams, and we play some good basketball. So as the league has shown, I mean, you look at the standings. I mean, there's Florida, and there's Kentucky, and then there's everybody else. I mean, so anyone's capable of beating anyone. And so the games that, even when you look at Florida, they've escaped some games. The previous year, some of those games kind of got bid on them. But this year, I think with their experience, with their leadership, with Wilburton, having 4 or 5 seniors, 2 fifth-year seniors, it makes a big difference. They've been tested, and but anybody on any given night, any team can beat anybody in this league.
Coach, with that said, you guys are red hot right now, but a lot of the local and national pundits aren't really giving you guys a chance. Did you use that as an additional motivation going into Thursday night?
Well, we control our own destiny. That's the most important thing. And so I don't even worry about listening to what other people say. The things that we're going to control is this next game. There's 4 games left, and we've got a bunch of teams that have got 7 losses. So it's a big week. It's a big couple of weeks for a lot of teams for a lot of reasons. But the only thing I want our guys to focus in on is the next game. And you do what you're supposed to do. It will take care of itself.
Every game is big to you, we know that. But this one in particular, you think it can go a longer way than the other ones in making a postseason happen?
Well, I think every team right now is thinking about postseason. That's what they talk about. We don't talk about it, but at the same time, everyone is playing in any conference, whether they're in first place, last place, they plan to go to the NCAA tournament. So that's why I always say at the beginning of the year, every game's a big game, and this is a big game. I mean, it's not a do or die, but it's a big game.
You feel like confidence-wise, this is the peak where you get.
We're playing well. I think this is the time of year you want to really have a lot of cylinders clicking, and I can say that because there are some nights where guys have been scoring for us. Let's say Kai's been leading us in scoring for a while. Well, he may have a night where he doesn't score, or Bobby doesn't score, but there's somebody else picking up that slack. There's a guy like Anthlon Bell. He's stepping up. There's maybe a game where Alandis is giving us plenty off the bench. Different guys are giving us different things, and Mardrakus Wade, I mean, he's capable of getting some of those scoring numbers. So can you imagine when those other guys are scoring and we still got the productivity come off the bench? We're a dangerous basketball team, but this is when you want to be playing some of your better basketball and going that direction. I think we are going that direction.
It looks like you've improved a lot since that Kentucky game. What areas have you seen the most improvement in the game?
I think we're trusting one another. I think our defense is a lot better. I think our defense has been tremendous. It's created, I think, the tempo of the game now. I don't think we're really pushing tempo, and I think we're pushing the ball, and we're pushing it with the understanding of executing, not necessarily just running and letting it fly. And there have been some games where we go push the ball down the floor and we settle for jump shots. But I think we're starting to make those subtle adjustments. Mississippi State game is a classic example. We shot, I think half our shots were 3-point shots because they put a little zone. Well, there's all kinds of ways to attack the zone, and we did a much better job in the second half. So I think all those things, and guys just getting the experience. I think guys understanding their roles with this basketball team. I think it's becoming a little bit more clear. But the trust that they have on defense, the trust they have on offense, where they're sharing the basketball, I think has been critical. But our defense I think, has been the culprit.
The fouls have been down quite a bit over these last 5 or 6 games. How big of a factor?
Well, we talk about that, not putting people on the line, and let's get to the line. We're an attacking team, so that comes with experience. Early in the year, I mean, we were putting people on the, I think on an average, probably 35 times, and so that's something you go and you talk about it, you watch on film, you look at the stats, and that was fixable. And hopefully, the last time we played these guys was 81 free throw shots. So it's going to be a war, I think.
You talked about guys stepping up. Did you see Anthlon prepare differently going into the Mississippi State game last weekend?
He had a good week of practice. I thought he had a good week of practice. He was shooting the ball well, but he was doing a lot of other things too. His focus was a little different. So it was just his time.
Qualls, he obviously had the big thing against Kentucky, but he had the game winner against Vandy. That was a really big shot he hit against Mississippi State. Does he seem to have a knack for, I don't know, just being able to step up and hit shots? And so some guys don't do well in those situations. He seems like
I think he relishes that opportunity to do that. I think if left up to him, he'd like take all the shots. So big shots, as a matter of fact. But I tell you what, some guys have that makeup. I mean, being at the right place at the right time, and so you got to have the confidence, and he has that confidence in himself that he'll knock it down. So he don't, it's one of those sayings, you can be the hero or the GOAT, and you got guys that don't mind being the hero or the GOAT.
Bell was 1 of 5, I think, to start the other day, and then really got going and shoot through it.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. I trusted him to go ahead and just play. He's one of those guys that he can miss. He's capable of missing 3 or 4 in a row, but in the same breath, he's capable of making 4 or 5 in a row. And that was obvious in the game the other night, and it was big for us.
Coach, Kai's production has been down in the last couple of games. Is that a byproduct of everyone else stepping up, or is he kind of struggling with his shot? Have you had to talk to him about what's going on, or is he developing into the point guard that you're really?
No, I think Kai's fine. I think Kai's fine. I mean, he hadn't shot the ball well if you're talking about that, but his productivity in other areas. I mean, he's still getting to the free throw line, making his free throws. He's rebounding the basketball, and he's getting more assists. So that's that trust we talked about. You know, maybe it ain't his night. No, I don't think it's down. I think that's the beauty of this basketball team. You know, on certain teams, if guys are not scoring, then you got problems. But we're still hitting a stride anywhere from 75 to 80 points a game.
Like 94 is the last time Arkansas won there. It's 9 straight losses. I mean, it's Kentucky, so it's obviously a hard place to win. I thought it was you got some guys like Bobby Force wasn't even born last time you guys won there. Just how do you kind of approach that with them?
I finally figured out, Bob, you're the historian of this bunch, man. You know all the history, right?
No, I can look it up.
You look it up, huh? Okay. But your question was?
Well, it's been since '94, so and you haven't won at a place in 20 years. How daunting a task is it to break through and bring a win back from there?
Well, you know, we played these guys before, so we're familiar with them. They're familiar with us, and of course, they have the home court advantage. We know that. That's where they practice and play there each and every day. So that's the advantage for them. And somehow we've got to figure out a way to negate that, where we can go in and make it an advantage for us. And how do you do that? Go in and play some of your best basketball you've played all year. That's what we've got to do. We've got to take the fight to Kentucky. But they hadn't lost but one game at home, and that was to, I think, Florida this year. So they've done a good job of protecting the home court. So it's going to be a tough, it'll be a challenge. But as I said, it'll be a great, great opportunity for us.
You feel like you guys go in there with some more confidence just because you're playing well and you've also got some road wins?
We've played well, and we've played these guys before. I mean, we played them before. We're playing well. And so there's 4 games left, and we just talked about, you know, let's get better. And so hopefully we can take this same mindset on the road as we did at Mississippi State and try to find a way to come out of there. You know, just try to hang around. That's the key. You want to hang around on the road. You be right there.
Michael, he's obviously played pretty well. He's come back from suspension. How do you think he's handled it? What's his attitude been like? How's he approached that?
He's doing what he's supposed to do. I think that's is obvious. I think in his play, and he's playing. So he's doing the thing we're doing the things we have asked of him, and being a member of this team. So and that's I think you live and learn, and that's what you do. It's all about lessons learned in life, and so he's doing well.